Good evening, everyone. This is Henry Gambell with SimplerOptions.com, and in tonight's free video, I wanted to give you a couple more picks that I'm looking at and hopefully some diverse opportunities as we start getting into the next major round of earnings. So the first one that I'm going to look at is ISRG, and with next week being a shortened week, Tuesday will be a half day, and then Wednesday the markets will be closed for the 4th of July. You could see some choppy activity, so I'm not saying you want to come out on Monday right out of the gates and start piling into things to the long side, but if you can look at the general pattern of ISRG and go with the idea that this is going to be support right at the 50-day moving average, right where we had broken out from previously. This is the area that I would like to buy, with the idea that you could catch direction and implied volatility into earnings. So you can see that that's here on the horizon. You can see what the last squeeze did for us ultimately. So it's the idea that if you find yourself, in $10 lower would be a discount, I think. So if we're down here in this area on Monday or Tuesday, consider buying some either at the money or maybe slightly out of the money calls on ISRG, just to see if we can get the squeeze to fire long and carry us into that report, not through it, but right up into the day just before, when you can sell those with some good implied volatility. If you like that idea, you might also like to look at AMGN, which is a very similar situation. Now, with AMGN, I don't know that I would so much want to see this back down at 180, because if you break this swing low, I don't know that it's going to be quite as attractive, but it's just another similar situation where we've got a squeeze, we have earnings that are on the horizon, and that's a name that I think could have a very similar type trade. So if you can build up a position next week while things are choppy and sideways, both of those have good looking squeezes, and the rise in implied volatility can help cushion any decay that you may get through the theta. So those are two directional picks, and then also a couple that we've been spending a lot of time on here in the evening videos, one of which was EOG that had a nice, this and XOP are both, I think, good picks in the energy names. So in those, and we'll continue to focus on them to the long side, and then with a little bit of diversity, I do still like Wingstop. So if on this one, if you come back and look really at the daily chart, granted, it's been a little bit of an exercise in patience, but if you can come back and look at the performance before, and also if you think about what the squeeze does, it's an idea that price will consolidate, and once that price has been digested and it's ready for the next stage of growth, well, then it pops up into that next move higher, and this has been repeating relatively well. At this point, I think this is still just general consolidation, and I would like to be accumulating the position to flip it out up there around 56. So I hope that's helpful and gives you a couple different places to consider some new trades. Have a great weekend, and we'll update these ideas again next week.